Hi all, welcome back to the Final Whistle then for another stream on the channel. And we're going to have a look at Top's exclusive interview then as he sat down with Leicester City's Dan Bates as he discusses the major revamp at Leicester City and what next for the Foxes as he wants to bring the people close together. There's been a lot of news today regarding the revamp, the major revamp at the club. John Ruckin's being moved upstairs. And yeah, we're going to discuss it all with you lot as well. And we're going to discuss everything as we watch the interview. We're going to give credit to Leicester for this, by the way. No copyright intended. Don't mean to. Don't bloody pin me down or anything like that. Let's share the screen and let's watch the interview together. And it's like 13 minutes long, I think it is. Let me see if I can do it right.
Here today in Bangkok because now you feel is the right time to speak to our fans. What would you like to say to that?
It's been so long that last time I spoke to the fans, and I think it's about time that I want to, sharing all the information and, give you trust back to the club and asking all the fans to know and closer together as the club, as the chairman, as the, interim CEO. I want the club back to be same like when I come in the first time. And I think we have a very good time and really have a very sad time and we have a very difficult time together. But the main thing that today want to talk to you is I want to get closer. I want to get more information to the fan. I want the fan to feel what I plan to do. I want fan to understand what the club want to move going forward, how we're going to do it.
Because it is clearly something that you want to open up those lines of communication. You've even had a meeting with the fan advisory board as well. So you're already putting in the steps of reconnecting with the fan base. Is that a fair way of putting it?
I think first year that we owned the club in 2010, I did have that conversation and met with many fans and I hear them. And I think that time I feel connected, and I think that is a good way to do it. For whatever reason is gone for quite a while, and after many things, COVID and the communication is gone, and I think we have many things that happened in the last 7 years, and also we have some good time in Europe, win FA Cup together, and and relegate that we not planned, and it's quite fast. The time has been flying, but I never forget to communicate. But it's not easy.
It's about time
at times, and I see that, and I feel that how the fan is perceived. And that main reason actually today that I want to reconnect and I want to let them understand what it feels and what I ask them to help, because a football club needs
the fans made the
fans
club,
to support,
the fans care.
And as the chairman, as the owner, as the acting CEO, whatever position, I'm the fan as well. So
Why? Why can't I make any changes without an admin approval? Huh? You should try Monday.com. I'm swearing off work.
That's not good.
It's important.
Back up. Sorry about the bloody sponsor.
Whatever they perform, they not perform, they perform well. I think we are human beings and we want to success. But every team also want to success. So we have to fight. And that a little help from the fan can drive something special.
You can see how much passion you have just in talking to you about the football club, about the history, about absolutely everything. So does it sometimes upset you then when that is called into question, your love for the club?
I think when we lost the game, as the football fans, I know how it feels because I'm love football. And you have to respond to all those, criticism or complaint or expectation of the fan that we should win Premier League and we want to win every year, of course. But in real life, it's not easy. But I accept expectation. I understand how the fan, want the club going the direction that they love to see.
I hope so, mate.
But we have to be understand, and I try to understand also. Otherwise, I cannot live in this, situation anyway. That if we are in a good plan, we should be back in Premier League, and all those complaint, criticism, whatever, in this, real life, that everybody got it. It's okay for me. Even in Leicester, I walk there in the stadium.
Yes, he's understanding everything as well.
Fans,
listening to him,
they support. So I think I don't ask people to love or support to my family, to myself, to the club, but I ask them to a little bit understand what the club try to do, and expectation is good to have, but we have to manage, and we will manage.
You can understand though why some supporters might have that feeling about things that the club hasn't got right in the past couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I mentioned. We have a lot of difficult time. Is clear, and I will try to fix. I'm sure that I'm not gonna let this kind of situation go and on, because it's difficult. When it's difficult, the fan feel difficult. I have to manage difficult too. So I think it's not easy, the situation we got, but it's gonna take time. That nothing to lie, because sport is not easy to change one thing in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Like we are in championship when we bought the club. We said we try to bring the team back to Premier League. It takes 3 years, and it takes almost 7 years, 8 years in Premier League, and now we back to be the same, like 10 years or 15 years ago that we're in championship. I think we need time to rebuild everything. Maybe some fan is not happy with the answer that I said, but is realistic, and I want to make sure that everybody understands the same, that when to rebuild something is not to change everything and you're gonna be success. I think it takes effort and time. Of course, if it's shorter, I do it. If it's not success, we try again. If it's success, we win together.
So how do you want the club to feel then moving forward? Whether that's in the short term or the long term, whether that's supporters, the players, the staff, in this next chapter, which it's fair to say it is going to be difficult. You've said that yourself. How do you want the club to feel together?
I think first thing is, like I said, you have to understand the difficulty of
I agree, Connor.
where we are now. I'm sure we have all ambition that we want to back to Premier League.
Take our eye off the right decisions.
I want first thing that people have to be closer,
massive decline,
more communication, and I think transparency with all the things to the fan, to the players, and I will use a lot of time to talk to the fan advisory board, and I'm gonna use time to understand more what the fan need, because inside the club I always ask the players or the staff what they need, what I can do. I want to improve a lot of aspect in the club, and the first thing is we need to be closer. We need to be talking communication more, and
this is what should have been.
And the idea will come.
Communication.
And after
lost our way a bit.
The talk to the director, I think we have sharing a lot of information, a lot of ideas, what the club should do or should not do, what going forward. I think it has a lot of plan together, and I think this just the starting point. I think has more to come in the near future.
Yeah, I guess the criticism that fans have had is that they've just not heard enough from you or from the senior members of staff in the club. So this is, okay, it's a starting block, it's the first small step, but it's your way of saying to them, we're changing that.
I think maybe it's my fault also, because I used to talk to the fan. I used to talk to the media, but I have responsible here in Thailand a lot, and we have a lot of things happening during COVID to now. But anyway, is the past that I want to change the way we communicate, and we want to change the way we are, telling the fan and listen to the fans, because I'm Generation Y. I know how it's important, and I know how social media work. I know how people love to involve with the thing that they are interesting. And we are today, like you mentioned, Dan, that it just start. So I hope it's good start.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
I'm not talking about
and it will continue. I want to do it long time. That's why I said maybe my fault that my time is not right, or I travel, or I think it's okay, and football result is still have to see. So it's a lot of things behind, but in my mind is always I want to speak, I want to see fan, I want to listen to them, I want to improve in communication.
About time.
And we are here today because I want to do it.
Just understanding that how I guess to find the balance between what's happened in the past, not just the bad things, but the good things, and particularly the last few years, and then showing the fans that you've learned from those, and that in the next future and the building for the future is everything can be learned and pushed into that one goal.
I think behind the scene that people doesn't see, or they don't even have ideas what behind. Maybe I cannot say, but we work so hard, in terms of to make sure the club is in the right place. And try to fight when we are trying to fight with the relegation last year. A lot of difficulty, a lot of pain. So I think maybe that part is when we are in difficulty, we have to be planning and understand. When we understand, then you fix. We try to fix a lot of things, and many things is not going what we expect, That's why I mentioned to you that maybe sometime I should communicate at that time, but maybe it's my fault that I didn't do it.
Yeah, well,
and
there's a lot of mistakes you've made.
And we are here, and I think we should reconnect and should start planning and doing the same and telling the fan what happening and fix together.
Kuntop, we're here today.
Dan,
how we doing?
What do you take from that? Because he obviously reiterates a lot in that interview that he wants to communicate with the fans. He said it's his fault that things have got onto this sort of problems. He does want to see us in the Premier League again. He's saying that people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. But he said he now wants to communicate going forward. He said he cares. He has the love for the club. He said he can understand the frustrations, but he wants to talk to the fans now going forward in supporters, sort of group things that, you know, they can express their frustration and anger to him and where the problems lie, because it's about time he came out. They haven't spoke since 2016, since winning the Prem. And I always say, Dan, that you can't always talk when things are good. You have to talk about the bad as well, because that's what gets you in the middle of. You've got to see both sides of the coin.
That's it.
But what do you take from it, Dan? It's been a lot. I think it's been a long time coming, and it probably should have happened sooner. But I'm just glad now he's actually come out and he's admitting to his mistakes that he's made. And how do you think he fixes it going forward?
Well, you know, first things first. Yes, it's great that he's done this, you know, but as you just said, it's easy to talk when the good times are happening, than what it is the bad. But you know, don't get me wrong. I have slightly mixed views with Top, because I can understand why he perhaps doesn't want to particularly hang around the football ground so much, because you've got to remember his dad did die there, and it can be quite traumatic. So maybe that's took a lot longer than expected for that sort of thing to happen. That's not an excuse for not still communicating with fans as such, and running the club in the correct way. I mean, how many times over the last certainly this season, but beforehand, is everybody would forgive him a lot more if he wasn't there, but he had the right people surrounding him,
running the club,
doing the right things, running the club until he was happy. But he hasn't, you know, and that's what's caused the biggest issue. He's left essentially an academy coach in charge of the football club. And I don't care what anybody says about winning this and winning that. It wasn't done under him. He just rode on that crest of a wave. And now, over the last 3 years, he's been found out.
Yeah. He's not.
And this has been a long time coming, you know. Like what I, you know, sort of said to you in the conversation leading up to this, when we've heard about it, you know, I would like to hope that he's gone completely, but the article seemed to say that he's just being moved into a slightly different role.
Yeah,
and that still concerns me, because whilst his greasy little mitts are all over our club, I still have doubts as to what anybody can do. You know, he's upset Whelan to the point of where she's left the club. He's had conflicts with pretty much every manager that we've had, even up to the point with Marty, where, you know, the last home game against Blackburn, there was rumours of him having a blazing row with him outside the dressing room. You know, again, nothing confirmed, but it's just rumours from pretty strong sources.
Dan,
so for me, actions will speak louder than words. So we'll get to wait and see.
Leicester City have just confirmed that the appointment of Kun Kamantib, I think that's how you pronounce it, innit? They've announced that the Kun Kamantib is to the position of interim managing director to support the club's leadership during a period of executive transition. So he's took over as the managing director for now, while they do get the new technical director and that sorted. It's great. It's good to see, though, Dan, that it is in good stead. But to move John Rookin upstairs and still be what he is, director of football, that's the irritating part, because he's made a lot of big mistakes. He's the ones who's been handing out these contracts in the wages and all that. And for Top, I think the only way what should have been with Rookin is they've moved him out and said, you've got us into this sort of predicament. You've not looked after it when I've asked you to. I've trusted you with this, and you've let me down.
I mean, it does still sound like a little bit of a jobs for the boys scenario. Because he's his mate. It quite clearly is, because they're regularly photographed away from footballing things together. So it does look like he's still trying to look after him and take him maybe out of the firing line. Look, again, as many of us didn't like the chance at the last game. Without that, maybe this might not have happened. Who knows?
Someone sort of said it on social media. It might have tipped it a bit.
That's it.
He's seen how bad it's got with how them challenges happened the night before. I can't let this go on any further.
No. Well, the last three home games have been pretty toxic. It's like that Blackburn one. I've not seen anything like that for a long while. Well, really, since the incident with Sheffield United with Martin O'Neill, and that was a little bit over the top, I felt, at that point. But it was what it was. But like I say, that's, in comparison, probably one of the worst ones I've seen since. So yeah, it had to happen, or something had to happen. That's for sure. And hopefully, like what we've said with Marty, in some of the things that he says, hopefully it is less talk, more action. And he does do things, and things move quite quickly. And hopefully we can get back on track to what direction we were meant to be heading in originally, and get back to where we really should be. Certainly not in the lower parts of the Championship, that's for sure. We're more mid to table, upper table of the Premier League. That's really where we should be, and going on with the plans like expanding the stadium and all these other delights that we were having. But let's wait and see. Like I say, actions speak louder than words. If he does something quickly.
Michael says, admitting he screwed up, the first step. Admitting he needs 100%. To bring in smart football people. Maybe late, but better than never. I think he realises next year is massive with the parachute money.
Yeah, I mean, admitting you were wrong is a very big thing to do. That I'll give a lot of respect for him for that, because it does take a lot for people to admit they're wrong and done something wrong and now do something about it. And hopefully he does, and that'll be brilliant. As I say, the parachute payment stuff, well, it is what it is. I'm hoping that financially they've sorted ourselves out, and and that this will all help with moving things further forward. So as for better sponsors, it'd be nice, but unfortunately the ones that people don't really approve of pay the most money, and at the minute we need the money.
I agree. So Dan, I mean, this has been 3 years of a decline. We speak about it a lot, don't we? What's going on? And a lot of mismanagement, a lot of took eye off the ball. I do think he regrets that he isn't here a lot of the time to oversee things as he'd like to. Yeah, and I sort of get that from him, the vibe from him, that he wishes he could have done a lot more and not left it in hands of other people to do these type of things. He's obviously, he did say that he has big things to sort over there in Thailand, in power, but you know, it always is the case that it's better late than never that he has come out and spoke in the interview.
100%.
It's just one of them now. Where do the club go from here? Because we're sitting 12th in the championship. We're all 4 points off the playoffs.
Yeah.
Chanzere would never have spoke to Sheffield Wednesday like this. Do you get what I'm saying? He left years without even talking. He didn't even talk to Sheffield Wednesday fans. He talked about ownership. And you look at the Venkis at Blackburn, the Sheffield Wednesdays, their owners just didn't talk to them at all.
No, that's it.
That's not a good thing. You know,
it's not.
I know it's something that they needed to do regularly to communicate with fans about the problems. But I'm hoping now when he does come back over here to Leicester games and that, he can communicate a lot more with the fans and the questions they need to ask of him, and hopefully he can actually be honest and say, you know what, yes, I've made the mistakes. Yes, I've probably put the wrong people in the roles that they shouldn't have been. But it's all I could have done.
That's it. Again, you know, like what I said at the beginning, you know, it must hurt him every time he steps that out of the car at the King Power, driving past that great big monument of his dad, looking in that corner where the helicopter went down and everything else like that. So that has to hurt.
It hurts losing your loved ones.
So absolutely, you know, none of us would wish that, as we say, on our worst enemy.
It's not easy.
No,
for him to keep coming back to facing that environment of losing
absolutely
there and things that happened, and it's obviously something that's hard for him to get past, you know. And I get it. It's not easy losing loved ones, especially in them sort of in what happened 8 years ago.
Yeah,
it ain't easy, but he's had to. He's got a big role to step up, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Whether he's ready for it,
that's it.
He had to step up and take control.
That's it. I mean, again, maybe with what's happened in this last, really, what is it, 2, 3, 4 months, where King Power's struggling, and now the football club is struggling. You know, he's kind of had to come from out of the shadows and go, I need to step up now, otherwise things are going to go completely, and you know, that's not what they were about. So look, as we said, hopefully now things will shift, we'll get put back on track, we'll get on the right rails and end up back to where we all feel and believe we should be as a football club. You know, getting the right people in is the biggest thing, you know, and it needs to be people, not solely one person. You know, because I think that was, you know, that's the other big issue, is that we seem to have one person in control who seemed to feel that he was in control of everything. And whereas, you know, hopefully if you get the right people in, then you get a majority vote on things of what is nice and what is good, as opposed to what one person feels it should be. And, you know, hopefully, as I say, he's been given a title and a role, as so to speak, but doesn't have any actual involvement.
No. It was good to see him admit his mistakes. Rudkin, however, needs to be moved on and a fresh start fully in place to move forward.
Yeah.
We've spoke about it a lot, haven't we, Dan, about a proper football advisor should have come in from the start. That's where he should have, as long as the time took for him to do it, we wouldn't have minded. We would have said, you know what, get your people together. As long as it's the right people, you can actually get in and help you along the way. That's fine. Take as long as you need with it.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It felt like he'd rushed it in the sense that I need to trust these people who have been at the club. I need these to help me. Not he needed his own people. Do you get what I'm saying? His dad had his people, and he needed his. And he hasn't got it. He just trusted, he just relied on.
Well, I think Rudkin was his man, but unfortunately, he's just been the wrong man.
He's let him down, for sure.
Oh, massively. He's out of his depth, but he just seems to be that either pig-headed and stubborn.
He's still got a title, though, which...
For
director of football, he's been moved upstairs. He won't have the hands approach now in terms of transfers and contracts and all that. That's all down to the technical director now. And that
this is it.
Instead of getting better players in, because then he'll work with Martin Glover and bring in more better quality players, Dan, than overspending on Oliver Skip and that.
Well, exactly that, Jack. You know, like I say, he's this guy has literally fallen out with everybody from Susan Whelan all the way down to the on-field pitch announcer. So, you know, there's only one common denominator in all of it, and it's him. So how he clings on to this role is beyond me. But that's obviously where the friendship lines have been a bit blurred between him and Top.
Yeah.
Like I say, I think that was his man that he entrusted and has let him down. So hopefully, as I say, all this is just a role in principle and not in actual doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's, as I say, it's a bit of a job for the boys. Keep him within the club, keep him on the payroll because he's my mate and I can't sack him. But eventually what will happen is he'll just get squeezed out, and those things will, you know, sort of might take a bit longer than we want. Just as long as it's just as long as Top is getting these guys in and not Rudkin, who's essentially, like what I said to you on the phone, is getting patsies in to collar the blame for anything that goes wrong, whilst really it's his greasy mitts all over it again.
Yeah, this interview, you learn a lot about what he wants to do. It does say in the article what John Percy put out, that he's going to be the one who does all this. He's going to be the one that brings in these directors. He's bringing in a new commercial director and a new chief executive as well. So going to be a lot of roles. It needs to be talked.
It sounded positive.
It's about, you need to talk with substance, actual action, that these things are going to happen. Don't just say them. Go and do what you say. Go and prove to the fans, and go and build that relationship back with the supporters.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what you got to do now going forward. You got to go and communicate and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I'll hold my hands up. This ain't going to happen again. We're going to build together. We're going to unite again. He's got to unite the fans and the
100%.
club. It's one now. And
100%.
that's what it is right now, because things are a bit on the side of anger and frustration by the fans, which you can understand. It's not entitlement, as some clubs fans seem to think we are, because we're success, but it's care, it's passion. And this is what it is. All we care is that we want the best for our football club. We want to succeed. We don't want to see these things happen, that you mismanaging these things and not doing the right things when you should be.
Exactly that, Jack. That is it. It's not entitlement. It is a care and love for our football club.
Yeah.
That we will all be here before, during, and after. Anybody that's running the club will be, any player that will play for the club will be, any manager that manages. And what we don't want is the club to go downhill. We only want it going up a hill and moving forwards. So nothing like that. It does annoy me when people say, "Oh, you're just entitled because you fluked a Premier League once."
Yeah.
Well, no, we were in the Premier League for 10 plus years.
Season,
well, that's exactly that. It's not even just that. It's but it's not even just that. It's the following seasons after that. You know, we were in the top 4 for God knows how long, finishing 5th twice, winning the FA Cup.
Because we made the right decisions and brought in the right recruitment.
Exactly that.
And that's where we've gone. That's where we've gone horribly wrong and fell flat on our arse with it because we haven't followed up with what we was doing right before. We've sort of a different path, and it's not led us to where we hoped it'd go.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that.
Just read up on this interim thing. The woman was appointed to King Power and she's only here until there's a permanent director found. It'd be good to see that she can report back to top on different things as well, to go into these fan engagement things and that. That's what you hope will happen now going forward.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Like I say, hopefully he's getting.
Who do you bring in though? Who do you bring in though, Dan? It is the thing because there's a lot of people who have left clubs during the summer. Obviously, this has been a summer thing apparently since the summer that he's been looking at. Nigel Pearson is technical director.
Yeah. Well, that would always be.
If it has to bring someone in who knows the club.
100%. But with all of these jobs, you know, like what I put on the stream there, we want the best in class for what we can get. And that'd be great. Whether we can afford him or not is a different matter.
Well, apparently, according to the article, they said that they don't mind paying compensation for people who are already in a job, so they'll pay.
Well, he's not.
He's not in a job currently.
No.
So we could look at him and say, Dan, we've seen what you did at Brighton. We've seen what you've done here. Was it Man United as well? I think he went in the end.
Well, Newcastle before that.
Newcastle,
He started it with Newcastle. With Man United, he started there and was ousted after about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Allegedly because he wanted Gareth Southgate in charge and they wanted to go a different way, so they didn't see eye to eye. But who knows? Again, it's all alleged.
Well, you got to get the right man in.
Yeah, this is it. And
experience and that. Someone with a bit of oomph about them. You know, I've done this job. I know how to run it, and you know, if we can get somebody in who we can pay good money for, and you know, happy days.
Exactly that. Like. Again, you know, you could go not so much as a director of football wise, but certainly within that group where, you know, of financial directors and all those sorts of people behind the scenes that do job. Wes Morgan's doing one. He's just done his qualification. Again, somebody who knows the club a little bit more recently, a little bit more younger, and you know, been away from the game enough to go and look at other clubs and see how they work and to bring that sort of stuff back in. As you say, you know, Nigel Pearson would be great. Whether that's something he'd want to do, who knows? But it's more about having, as I say, the best in class for what we can get.
Do you think it brings good stead for January transfer window?
It might be a little bit too soon for January transfer window. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
And it depends. It depends on whether the likes of Martin Glover, who's obviously been at the club a long while, and obviously gets his way with some signings, and then not with others. Whether now he does have that bit more control, or his advice listened to a little bit strongly, and we go that way down the line, would be handy. You never know. He may end up stepping up and being a bit more hands-on in the senior roles than being a chief scout.
Yeah.
Again, you know, he's obviously his wealth of player knowledge must be very good, which is a big thing for a director of football and getting things in. Like I say, it's more the financial side where I want us to get the best we can, who is money wise smart with contracts and knows how to put contracts together, because that's been our biggest downfall over this last 3-4 years. You know, getting players on ridiculous money, on ridiculously lengths of contracts, with other things that have just crippled us.
Is it 42 million pound a year we spend on wages?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for the current
That is
squad.
a lot of money, not just for this current squad, but just for a club of our size. We're not in that level of money wise to bring in, you know. The only way we would have been able to do that if we were commercially savvy on what we'd done in the 3-4 very, very good years. But we didn't. We just wasted money on.
Well, I'm hoping, Dan, that they don't keep. I'm hoping when this new chief executive and that comes in, this new commercial director, I'm hoping they bring in some decent revenue for the club and not these dodgy sponsors. They need to put that completely. BC game.
Yeah.
It went because of what was happening, you know, because it did go into extinction or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're back again. It's like, hold on a minute, weren't you not gone? Who's making this decision?
Well, you know, again, like we came to the assumption of, and we could well be well off the mark, is that one of the fallouts between Whelan and the rest of them was quite possibly these K-Bet, and was the other one that was floated around in the summer. But it's like I say, unfortunately, it's one of those things where we've got ourselves into a position where they pay the most money and we need the most money we can possibly get to help us out from the mess that we got ourselves in. So it still might be a few of these odd, peculiar betting companies. Well, I mean, I say that it'll only be for this season, because from next season we can't have them anyway. If that's right from what I remember. So we'll wait and see. But hopefully, as you say, with these it's not so much as well having the right one or two. Hopefully, we get like 5 or 6 different decent sponsors. I mean, again, like look at Wrexham. Yes, okay, they've got the Hollywood people there who attract the sponsors more than the football club does.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why a club of our size can't attract similar, if not better, sponsorships ourselves, you know. And again, doing that, but we seem to focus on one sort of market, and there's a whole lot of stuff out there that is, if you're commercially savvy, you can get into. So all being well, that comes off.
Well, I'm hoping this all works out, Dan, to be fair, because
me too, 100%
needs to happen. Hopefully it's a big step in the right direction with what Top's doing.
And he does a few more of these little communication videos. It doesn't have to be massive. It just needs to
go for it. If you want to do it King Power Base and you keep communicating with us and let us know what's happening and what your plans are, then we'll
that's it.
We can work with you here, Top. You know, this week
exactly that.
Here, and you're actually willing to listen.
Yeah, like I said, we don't need to have the whole chapter and verse of what happens in a boardroom. No. We just need to hear the main features of what are the plans going forward.
Yeah,
you know, and how are you planning on turning this juggernaut around?
Yeah, that's it. How have you learned from your mistakes, mate? Where are we gonna? What is the plan? Because everyone needs to mention a 5-year plan. What is the plan? Because we obviously need a striker in January, Top. Let's get a bit of money together. Let's go and get a proper striker in, and not give number 9s to people that aren't strikers.
No.
Who run around the box and don't score goals, and then you've got another who comes in on loan who isn't exactly lighting the bloody championship up in Carranza, like Mark Albright stated in the Leicestershire Live about Leicester strikers. It's a massive problem. But they knew about Jamie Vardy leaving. And that should have been a replacement got in. But then when you're getting Jordan Ayew, the number 9 shirt, it's like, okay, Josh Sargent from Norwich, £8 million. Thank you very much. That'd be a start. Getting a decent.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think he'll cost a little bit more than that. But
we'll offer Dan in the deal at all.
Yeah, right.
Thank you for the director of football at Norwich.
Yeah, that's it. I'll be all right, thanks.
It's a big task on our hands now going forward.
Absolutely. Like I say,
today's we mean to go on.
Yeah, I hope this isn't a little bit of a martyrism of saying things but not actually doing them.
Yeah.
And he does start moving things back into a progressive way and getting the right people in charge, and that's the biggest task. Even more so than trying to find the number 9 is making sure, as I say, we've got the best in class for what we can get, and not people that aren't capable of doing a role within that. We don't want somebody bought in who used to do something else, so, without being too disrespectful, but sort of being a director at Tesco's, for instance, and then coming in and thinking that they can go and find players because they've played a few sessions of Football Manager this year.
Hey, let's hope we don't bloody appoint Will Still as manager anytime soon.
Well, yeah.
Because Southampton learned that lesson in
it looks it.
Their director of footballs and that are not exactly learning the way forward, are they? They keep making the poor decision making and that, and you need to do right. George says play Hamza as striker. I tell you what, I did see his goal yesterday.
Yeah, that's it.
Reminded me a bit of Okazaki against Newcastle in the 2016 when we played Newcastle. He scored over.
He scored about 6 goals for them, hasn't he?
Yeah, he scored in. Is it Bangladesh he's playing for at the minute?
Yeah.
He scored a free kick, didn't he? Was it a free kick?
Yeah. Scored 2 on his debut, a bullet header, and another one very similar to what he scored against Huddersfield.
How do we go about lowering the wages without getting rid of literally everyone while still keeping players here that are willing to play rather than leaving for free and losing more money? That's been a thing as well, hasn't it, Dan? About players leaving on a free. You look at Tillemans and Soyuncu left on a free that summer. Johnny Evans left, and a
few others that we weren't bothered about. Danny Ward and
and there's some more that you had to the list. It's just poor. It's just poor decision making.
Exactly that. Unfortunately, it is potentially still going to be quite painful with that because we've paid over the odds in wages wise for the likes of Harry Winks. As much as I like Harry Winks as a footballer, and he's very good for us at this level, there's no way he's worth 90 odd grand a week in the Championship or even in the Premier League. For 90 grand a week, you're talking, a striker really gets that sort of money, who's going to score you 15, 20 goals and get you out of the league, not a centre mid who play some nice passes and keeps you moving. So unfortunately, with losing money, because we pay him so much, we're still going to suffer that because clubs won't match what we have paid players, and which is crap. But again, that's another one of Mr. Rudkin's downfalls. So we've still got a little bit of pain to suffer with that. Hopefully, the new players, your likes of Abdul and stuff like that, JJ, hopefully when he does get signed, I mean, that's the first big task, in my opinion, to get done for whomever comes in as the technical director of football, or whatever it is title that they're giving them, is getting him signed up, but not, again, overpaying him wages, that sort of thing. The same as Booba is another one who's on big money, shouldn't be on big money, but
That's in the Premier League, and Everton can afford to go and pay them wages out. Johnny Evans recently said he would have been happy enough to stay, but was never contacted. But then United jumped in. The thing is with Johnny Evans, Ryan, is that he down-tooled that season. You remember, Dan, when he said, "Oh, I'm always injured," then international duty came up, playing from on the injury.
Always,
again. Of course you are, mate.
Yeah, he was always fit to play for Ireland, but never fit to play for us.
So-called captain, wasn't it, Dan? So-called captaincy, mate.
Yeah. And I'm sure he probably did want another contract on 100 grand a week,
or a bit more.
But we let him go because he was always injured. We couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
So sorry, mate. Okay, it's time to go.
That's a fair point. Right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you're watching this on playback, let me know your thoughts on the exclusive interview by Leicester City owner Aiyawatt Srivaddhanaprabha. As he speaks to the fans,
Jack.
Radio silence has well and truly been took off mute. Top has spoken. Let's see if we can put words into actions going forward. So let's hope the club now can be more on the rise than in bloody free falling downfall, but we'll see what happens. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. Hit a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Really appreciate it. We have put a video out on the channel as well about the major overall incoming at Leicester City, so go and check that out as well. We read John Percy's article. Let me know your thoughts on that. And thanks for watching. Take care. We will be back, Dan. When we'll be back, I'm sure we do some ranking videos or something of the players, of where we rank them higher and lower. We should have a game of that somewhere.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll be back with a match preview next week as we take on Stoke. The championship predictions will be back for week 16. And that is it from us. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your Friday and the weekend. And we will catch you again soon.